Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Iron Port. This program is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance and Ghana Link. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Folks, today we are discussing car clearance at the port. We know this is a hot topic, a topic you are very interested in. Today we are going to bring you all that entails when it comes to clearing cars at the ports of Ghana. What you need to know, the duties you need to pay, how to calculate for these duties, all the essential details that you need to know so you can clear your cars from wherever they are coming from to the ports of Ghana without any hassle and bustle. We bring you a customs official from the Customs Technical Services Bureau, as well as a Director of Operations at the Ghana Link, the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System. Take a listen.
I want you to walk us through the process of importing a car into Ghana.
There are 3 stages. When you buy your car, you have to ship the vehicle. Then when the vehicle is shipped, it has to be cleared. So at the purchase stage, he goes to negotiate whether if it's a new vehicle, you should have an invoice.
Yeah.
So based on the invoice, he pays, and then that's evidence of purchase.
Right.
Then his shipper will take this vehicle to any of the shipping lines and try to get booked for shipment into Ghana. So when that is done, when they accept, it becomes a contract between the shipping line and the shipper.
Right.
So in this case, he's issued with a bill of lading, which entitles the owner to the vehicle when he gets to Ghana. And he pays a freight for it.
Right.
If he gets to Ghana, it has to be cleared through customs. When you get to customs, the law in Ghana, what is placed is that if you bring anything, all the vehicles, even goods, when you bring anything to Ghana, you cannot clear the things on your own.
Yeah.
So you need the services of an agent. The agents have been registered to do the work they are doing. So assuming something goes wrong after clearing through customs, that's not the end. We have a post-clearance audit unit. Assuming they go in and they find that there's something wrong, where would they find you? Maybe you just came for holidays and you are gone back. That's one reason. The second reason is that the agent, to be an agent, the law requires that you have to be trained to the standard of a senior revenue officer in customs.
Right.
So it means that he knows what he's doing. So when he gets to the clearance process, with your bill of lading, which is a contract between the importer and then the shipping line, he gives it to an agent. The agent is registered on ICOMS. So he inputs the details of the vehicle into the system with the tin, with the person's tin.
Yeah.
So we require that it captures the make. Let's say Toyota, a Corolla, that's the model. If it's a saloon car, he has to state it. If it has a special feature, for instance, when you are driving down, you see some, for instance, you can take Corolla, which is very common. You can see LE, yes, he needs to declare it. You see, so when you put your name, address, everything on the bill, it has to go in. Because the bill of lading, the information on it is what is on the manifest. The shipping line is supposed to submit the manifest to customs through ICOMS. So your bill of lading should tally you what is on the manifest. So when this is submitted to customs, we have 3 stages to go through.
Right.
We have the classification stage, which is the first stage. We have the evaluation stage, and then we have the supervisor level. At the classification stage, it's very important because he's supposed to ensure that the item is properly identified. So if it's a vehicle and he goes to say it's a forklift, it's not the same. Because the classification officer will check what is on the BL against what the agent has declared. Then he will assign the HS code. And the HS codes gives specific descriptions to the items. Every item that comes into Ghana is in that book. Valuation officer, his job will also be to verify all what the classification officer has done, whether it is okay. He also looks at the BL, he goes through the details, whether it's a Corolla, it's saloon, it's whatever he has sent, everything is correct. Then, if that is done and he starts, then he then assigns a value. Okay. In the system, we have softwares installed.
Yeah.
And these softwares, they have various values for all vehicles coming from various zones.
Okay.
When the supervisor is okay, then he then approves the BOE. That's the final approval. This time, what happens is that from the supervisor stage, it goes directly to the declarant. That's the agent.
Right.
Then the agent, if he's satisfied, he will accept it with the valuation. If he's not, the system gives an option for him to reject the VOE. And they put his reasons. So, in this case, he can appeal on what has been done.
Right.
So, if he accepts that it's okay, then he has to go to the bank and then make the payment.
Okay.
When he does the payment, then he has to go to shipping line. Because there are stakeholders along the line.
Yeah.
He has to go to all of them.
Sure.
So if he goes to the shipping line, he has to pay the shipping line charges.
Yeah.
And then when he pays the shipping line charges, he has to come back to the system, and then he has to book for examination officer. And then when he does that, when the shipping line, everything is done properly, the system will allow him to book for examination officer. You understand? But he has to go to Gapua if it is at Golden Jubilee, or go to Sabon if it's at Sabon.
Yeah.
And then he pays the charges as well. So the examination officer will also go and examine the vehicle. Then he will vet the BOE, the bill of entry, to ensure whether the duty calculations, the HS code assigned, the value assigned. If they see the values in the system, so they can compare what has been assigned on the system and what they also see.
Right.
If the examination officer is, however, satisfied, he then goes into the system and then he enters his remark in the system and then releases to the preventive officers at the gate. So when they get to the gate, they will also do the same thing. So there are checks and balances. So they will also do the same thing, and then when they are sure of it, before they release a vehicle for home consumption.
Right. But let me come to Raymond and find out from you, at what stage during the clearance process does ICOMS come in?
The clearance process is done on ICOMS. So just like Justice explained, you would have to submit your documents, talking about the bill of lading, the invoice, the packing list. The very good thing about ICOMS is that it's introduced this clearance option, which is the pre-manifest declaration. Okay. So that even before the arrival of the vessel, once you have these documents I mentioned, you electronically will submit to the CTSB, and then they would do the classification, valuation, and then they provide you with your tax bill at your front end, talking about the declarant. Like you mentioned, you have the option to accept if you are satisfied. Once you accept, even before the arrival of the vessel, like I said, you are able to go ahead and make payment. All the commercial banks have been connected to the system, and all their various payment options are available. So in the comfort of your home, in your car, in your office, you can proceed to make payment and then wait until the arrival of the vessel, when you will now go for the physical inspection, like Justice explained, and then take delivery of the vehicle. So all these are done on ICOMS, and once you submit the documents electronically, all the various stakeholders who need information on the documents you have provided, they have them. So you wouldn't need to be supplying documents to various agencies along the chain. So all the processes are done on ICOMS, and the advantage also with the pre-manifest declaration is that, like I said, once you make payment, it means that in the future, if every week customs updates the exchange rate. In the future, when there is an increase in
it won't affect you.
It will not affect you. Okay. And then also it helps you to plan, because then you just are having to wait, and then once the vessel arrives, like just explained once again, you finish everything with the shipping line. You go to the terminal, then you make a service request, and then you're able to determine when you want to have take delivery of your cargo. All these are done on the system. Now, if the vehicle is in a container, it goes to the
Golden Jubilee terminal. Yeah.
Now you have to take delivery of it within 24 hours. If you're not able to, then it has to be transferred to the safe bond terminal. Now you are able to go on the system, and then automatically there is a transfer of the cargo to the Golden Jubilee, to the safe bond terminal. Yeah. And then an officer is also automatically assigned, and then the officer does the examination of the vehicle. All this done on the system. Yeah. Now, as part of the examination, if infractions are identified, a call is raised, if the penalty is raised, you are able to make payment right there at the terminal, even with your Momo, star 222 hash. Yeah. You can make payment. You don't need to go to the bank and come back. You make payment, and then you're able to proceed. The system recognizes that payment has been made. The officer sees it, and then you are able to proceed. All these processes are done seamlessly on ICOMS currently.
Let me find out from you. I told you I was coming to you for the relevant documents that one requires in the clearance chain, particularly with regards to vehicles.
Okay, with vehicles, if it's a new vehicle, you have bought it, you are paid for it, so require an invoice. And then the invoice is either FOB, that's free on board. It means that you are paid the importer, the owner of the goods in the country of manufacture, up to the point where the goods are put on the vessel. Right. You see, if it is, sometimes it's CNF, where it's cost and freight. So it means they are paid the owner of the good, the one who sold it to you. You paid him up to Tema, so you are paid the freight. Others will decide that they will go on CIF contract, where the seller of the goods will have to do all this arrangement, and they pay for it. Right. So they will pay for the cost, pay for the freight, and then pay for the insurance on the item up to Tema. Okay. Because that's our tax base, the CIF. In cedis, if we get foreign currency, then we convert into cedis. Right. So that is one item, document that they require if it's a new vehicle. If it's a used vehicle, this also applies to new vehicles, apart from the invoice. If it's also a used vehicle, then you will need the title. With a new vehicle, you don't have a title because it has not been registered. Right. But with a used vehicle, you need to have a title. You need to have a bill of sale for it. Even though it's a used vehicle, you are paid for it, so you have a bill of sale. So these documents will come together to show that you have properly acquired the vehicle. Because customs, for issues of risk management, issues of thefts, we look at stolen vehicles, so we need to be sure that you have these documents such that you cannot go and steal a vehicle from somewhere and then just take it. At the airport, you need a freight receipt. Right. We'll request for a freight receipt because we know for air freight, it's very high. Absolutely. So high, we'll look at the air freight as well. Then the airway bill will be part of it. So, and the bill of sale. So these are the items we require when it's at the airport. At the frontier, for instance, if
when you say the frontier, you're referring to the borders.
Borders. When you go to the free port and buy the vehicle, or you buy it from the market.
That's if you buy from Togo.
Yes, from Togo, Lomé. You need to go to customs, and then customs, they issue a customs declaration to cover it. And then the Ministry of Security will issue a document to show that the vehicle has not been stolen.
That's Ministry of National Security in Ghana?
No,
in Togo. Their place?
Yes, all these documents are from Togo. Okay. And then they have an evaluation report, which will be added. So this document, you get them before you even get to customs. We call them douane. Right. In Togo. Yes, when you get it, then they, based on this, they issue their declaration, customs declaration, and then they will escort the vehicle together with your agent in Togo, not the agent in Ghana. Okay. The agent in Togo, they will escort the vehicle to Taflao customs point where they have a yard, then they park the vehicle. So what they will do is that based on the document, they accept the vehicle into their yard. And then you then get an agent in Taflao who is in Ghana to apply for the valuation.
Right.
So basically, these are the documents that are required.
Now, there's this issue where people complain that maybe Larry came in with a BMW 5 Series, year of manufacture 2013. He paid 35,000 Ghana cedis as duty. I bring in the same vehicle, the same year of manufacture and all that, and I pay like 50,000. What accounts for that difference?
The country of origin is very important, where it was manufactured.
Okay.
Let's say if it is a US car, somebody bring a US car, you bring one from Europe, a European spec, you have the same duty. That's one thing. Even if they are from US, they are both coming from US. You have a Corolla, he has a Corolla, and then you bring them to customs, and you say yours is LE and his is S. There's no way the duty will be the same. Because in picking the value from the National Automobile Dealers Association software, we have books too. The agents have them. They have the books. The software they don't have. So they're able to cross-check. So if you check, you see that the values are different for both cars, even though they are both Corollas. So if you put the cars side by side, you will see that this one has some features this one doesn't have. Look at the alloy wheels. They are different. You go into them, one will be leather interior, another will not be. If you are looking at DVD, some are loaded, others don't have. So this fits into the duty. If everything is the same, then the duty should be the same.
If I identify a car that I want and want to import, I perhaps want to know how much it would cost me to clear it once it comes in. Do you have anything of the sort in your system as far as ICOMS is concerned?
Yes, Kennedy, we do. When you log on to www.external.unipassghana.com, www.external.unipassghana.com, right on the front page, you would see a used vehicle duty calculator icon. So you click on that and then you enter the details. There are two options. You could use the VIN to check the value, or you could use the make, the model, the type, the year of manufacture, and to give you a relatively fair idea of how much you would eventually be paying as duties and taxes.
What are all the things you're looking at doing in the future?
The auction process is a manual currently, so we are working on an e-auction model. So how it works is that when the vehicle has gone to UCL, uncleared cargo list, so there will be an examination of this vehicle, and then valuation and classification will be done. Once this is done, there will be a gazetting, and then after the gazetting, the UCL list will now be registered. After registration, now it will be made available for auction, and the auction would be done online. Interested people are able to bid, and then whoever wins the bid, the system will generate a bill for you, and then you make payment, and then you are able to take delivery of the vehicle.
So folks, you just heard from our guest on all the essential information that you need to know to clear cars at the ports of Ghana. Iron Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome back from the break. Now let's take a look at some local port and maritime news next. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor, has sounded a strong warning to persons who are tempted to export rosewood outside of Ghana. The minister warned explicitly that no rosewood is permitted to leave the shores of Ghana per the laws of the country. He said offenders of this directive will face the full rigors of the law. He made this known during a press briefing in Tema following the confiscation of attempted exports of rosewood at the port of Tema.
We are taking all the necessary steps to protect the natural resources of our country. And my own sense is that this measure we've put in, without doubt, I'm very confident, without doubt, will deal a big blow to the whole cartel, because the value of the wood is in the export.
The Customs Division impounded 5 containers which contain these logs of rosewood. Investigations are ongoing to apprehend and also prosecute the syndicate involved in the exports. Samuel Jinapor revealed that in addition to the ban on exports of the natural resource, public auction of rosewood would not be done. He said until further notice, all confiscated rosewood would be donated for the construction of the National Cathedral.
It's going to the Achimota depot of the Forestry Commission, and the processes will then be adhered to and followed, and the decision of the government or policy of the government to donate all rosewood confiscated to the National Cathedral will be adhered to and adhered to strictly.
Also, let's take a look at some international port and maritime news happening around the globe. South African port operator Transnet has identified and isolated the source of IT disruption that halted operations at its container terminals. The company confirmed that its IT systems were affected by disruption on Thursday, July 22, that impacted its container terminals. In a statement, Transnet revealed that the cause of IT system malfunction was identified and that it is now working to ensure that the impact remains minimal. The disruption prompted the company to manually conduct ports and rail operations. The giant container ship Ever Given has reached its planned destination in Rotterdam almost 4 months after it got stuck in the Suez Canal. The 20,000 TEU container ship resumed its voyage to Rotterdam after receiving the official approval to depart the canal from the Suez Canal Authority. The bulk ship arrived at Rotterdam's container terminal on Thursday at 5 a.m. local time. It moored at the Amazon Haven port basin at Maasvlakte. The ship is expected to stay in Rotterdam until early August to unload the containers at the ECT Delta terminal. It has 18,000 containers on board. Now it's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. Now let's listen to a few comments from viewers of the program. This one says, I heard teachers and nurses have some discounts on such a vehicle. Hi, the customs officer says the discount or exemption has been suspended because it was being abused. Lord Inusa Lancer says, my observation about what goes into arriving at import duties in Ghana is just laughable. What are we promoting looking at the many old cars on our roads? Can't we encourage the use of new cars by rather reducing the duties on them? We live in a country where it is like a taboo when you import a new car, but quite okay when you import not too brand new. And when it is more than 10 years too, big wahala. Big engines sell relatively cheaper abroad because they consume more fuel. And the idea is they might end up paying more taxes through fueling, but in Ghana, it's a no-go area. I think we have to take a holistic look into the whole pricing system, a system which will encourage everybody to enjoy paying duty. My humble appeal. Pierrot says, it is very sad that the value of used vehicles in Africa always appreciates as it depreciates in developed countries. That's all for today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been educated on car clearance at the port and you have all the essential information that you need to know when you need to clear your cars at the port. Remember, this abridged version can be watched on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port Ghana. Thank you for watching.